Right, he did do the right thing.
Now, the little boy suffered minor injuries, mostly scratched legs. Police are still looking for that car and the carjacker, but quick thinking little boy to get out of that car.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yep.
He got out, indeed. Well, coming up in our next hour of Eyewitness News this morning, Katie has your summer-like forecast.
Also updating our breaking news, another major earthquake in Nepal. We continue to get new video in. We'll show it to you and give you the latest information.
And you could be looking at the next major source of nutrition. Why more restaurants are adding insects to their menus. I know, I see you. We'll be back.
It's a good source of protein. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Good morning, everyone. Here's what's happening. Another major earthquake strikes Nepal. This is raw video just into it, showing people out on the streets away from buildings, fearing they might be crushed by falling debris. The magnitude 7.3 quake struck near the Chinese border between Kathmandu and Mount Everest. It was followed closely by two aftershocks measuring magnitude 5.6 and 6.3, we're told. The quake comes less than 3 weeks after another major earthquake that killed more than 8,000 people in that region. Boy, back home also this morning, summer-like heat is invading our region.
We're expecting the hottest day of the year so far, and Katie's out in the middle of it for us right now. 70 degrees already, and just wait till the sun comes up. And now it is up, right, Katie?
Yeah, it absolutely is. As someone with their motorcycle is driving by, this is a great motorcycle day. People are getting an early start on that, but we can expect to see these temperatures easily spike into the upper 80s, it looks like, later on today. But for now, yeah, the sun's up. We've got just a couple of clouds here over the CBS 3 sky deck, and we can take you out to a map and show you what things are looking like right now. Really pretty quiet overall. Granted, there is some activity to track here. In the last 3 hours, you can see there have been some showers that rolled through the Carbon-Monroe County area, but overall, bulk of moisture is either fizzling away or it's off to our north. So at this point, I don't think you have to worry too much about any wet weather today. I'm still allowing for just an off chance of a quick shower for some of you, but most of you are looking at a partly sunny, hot, humid, and breezy day. Already off to a steamy start. We're in the upper 60s at the airport in Atlantic City, mid 60s even in the Poconos, where you've got some damp roads to kickstart the morning. But as the day progresses, it looks like we'll probably see even more sunshine here. 88 degrees, the expected high. So we are tracking a cold front passage, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to see that cool air creep in here until later on tonight. So it's going to be a hot one. Maybe that's your thing, though. Maybe you love that. In the meantime, as long as we hit 88 degrees, heck, as long as we hit 87 degrees, that'll still make it the hottest day we've seen yet in 2015. But this is the last day before much cooler air nudges on in. We'll talk about what that does to the thermometer coming up. Justin?
After this past winter, yeah, I think 88 will take it, at least most of us. And it's getting close to a record high temperature of 91 degrees set on this day. But the roads, for the most part, are in good shape. Now we're just dealing with increased volume on 95 out of Northeast Philadelphia. This is southbound approaching Girard Avenue. There you go. Speeds being reduced to about 35 miles per hour just due to rush hour volume heading into the city. But nice shot there. You can see the sunshine is shining. Some hazy sky indicating we had that humidity in the air as well. 42 freeway. This is southbound looking okay. Northbound still moving at a good speed. The headlights are heading into the city, but increased volume. But the southbound side, again, there's going to be a construction zone that's going to take out the left lane until 9 o'clock this morning. This is between 295 and Creek Road. Now, we had the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge opened up earlier. Now the Burlington-Bristol Bridge is set to open at 6:15 this morning. There are the area speeds. Again, the slow spot will be Northeast Philadelphia on 95 south, down to 32 miles per hour. Looking good still in New Jersey on the Turnpike, and 295 in South Philadelphia, no problems on 95 as well. Let's look at your ride. Yuki, back over to you.
JD, thank you. Now, new this morning at a West Philadelphia Dunkin' Donuts, a man smashes a drive-through window, steals a cash register, and then takes off. Police say the coffee shop near 63rd and Girard was robbed around 2 this morning. Now, the suspect didn't get far, lugging that big cash register around with him. He was caught on the same block, and it happened about 20 minutes later.
And take a look at your screen right now if you can. Someone has to know these guys. Police want them for an attempted strong-arm robbery at an Acme in Feasterville. It happened around 6 last night. Investigators say the suspect in the green shirt assaulted an Acme employee who tried to stop him from running out of the store with the cart loaded with groceries. Police say they think the man in the white shirt there was with him. If you have any information on who they are or where they might be, you're asked to call Lower Southampton Township Police. This morning, a bus comes under attack on the way home from school in West Philadelphia, and police say some kids threw bricks and one of them hit a student. Eyewitness News reporter Jan Carabeo joins us now. She is at police headquarters with the latest information on this. Jan?
Erica, that 20-year-old student who was injured yesterday, fortunately has already been released from the hospital, but she will likely stay with this incident for some time, as well as her peers remembering it for some time. Police say that this group was disabled students heading home from school when their school bus was attacked. A school bus not involved in an accident Monday afternoon, but the target of what police are calling a careless attack.
It was just like they're just bored and they have nothing to do and they do a stupid act like this.
Police say it was here near the intersection of 47th and Aspen Streets, where a group of 6 juveniles grabbed a couple of concrete bricks and hurled them at a bus of disabled students.
They pick up some cement bricks, some cement and bricks from the grassy area, and they throw one at the bus. It strikes the side of the bus, damaging the bus, and they throw a second brick which goes through the actual window. 9 students were on board, along with 2 assistants and the driver. They were all heading home from the School of the Future. A 20-year-old student was hit by flying glass, her face cut, and taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Now, police want someone who knows the kids responsible to step up. They don't realize that there's a disabled kid in this bus. The fear you place on them and the injuries could have been worse. We're just fortunate here as the glass shattered. It hit the girl in the eye, but it looks like she's going to be okay.
Now, this investigation is ongoing today. Police still need the public's help. However, they say they do have video of the incident. We are reporting live outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Jan Carabeo, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Jan, thank you for that. Also, a close call for a mother and daughter after an accident involving a big rig in Montgomery County. Katrina Moaning and her mother, Nalan Duca, were on the Northeast Extension yesterday afternoon when police say a UPS tractor trailer swerved, causing their Mazda Miata to go under that rig. The 2 remained calm, very calm, as rescuers got them out.
All I could do was just look at all the faces in front of me, and every set of eyes that I looked at was just so reassuring that I just stayed calm.
Oh, so good to hear. Moaning did not suffer life-threatening injuries. Ms. Duca was treated and released.
At Temple University, an on-campus vigil for hit-and-run victim Rachel Hall. The recent Temple graduate was critically injured on April 29th when a car hit her bike at Park Avenue and Diamond Streets in North Philadelphia. Police say the driver, 18-year-old Rashawn Roberts, fled the scene. He was driving with a learner's permit, not a license. Roberts is now in custody. Arson investigators are on the case of a deadly fire in Kensington that has been ruled suspicious. I want to show you the breaking news from yesterday morning here when fire ripped through the apartments on the 3200 block of Kensington Avenue. Several people jumped or fell from the second story trying to escape the flames. One man died from the fall and 5 others were hurt. The owner tells CBS 3 he thinks a tenant destroyed the building's alarm system.
A medical marijuana bill backed by Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf is expected to clear the state Senate today. The Senate expanded the bill yesterday, adding several conditions to the list of illnesses that could be treated by marijuana. The Senate passed a similar bill last year, but it happened late in the legislative session and was never voted on by the House.
Still ahead this morning, a concert ticket scam in New Jersey lands one woman behind bars. We'll have the details.
Also, cleanup is underway in Texas, where deadly tornadoes cut a deep path of destruction. But this morning, we are hearing about stories of survival.
And Patriots quarterback Tom Brady gets benched over Deflategate. Now, we want to know what you think of the NFL's punishment. We'll have your comments coming up.
Yeah, got a workout group down there in front of the Art Museum doing their thing. As you listen to the Jacksons, we need Michael, Marlon, Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, all of them just throwing the glitter over the city skyline, like in the video from back in the day. Good morning, family. Get your glitter on. Time to get up. Glad you're with us. Be right back.
Get your lunge on it, too, it seems.
They're doing lunges, too. That's right. Let's get up.
Another round of thunderstorms is expected in parts of Texas today as people across the Southwest clean up from tornadoes and flooding. But out of the devastation in Texas, there's this, a sign of hope. An American flag found intact now flies proudly. Don Champion is in Van, Texas with the latest on these storms.
Rescue crews in Van, Texas continued search efforts into the night. Even though everyone is accounted for, cadaver dogs are being used to scour debris just in case.
With the amount of damage that we've suffered, it's important that we check and recheck what we've done, just to be sure we don't miss anybody.
The powerful EF3 tornado leveled about a third of the tiny town, killing 60-year-old David Tapley and his wife Brenda. The couple moved to Van after retiring. In the wake of the storm, victims are trying to protect what little they have left. Police put a curfew in place and have set up checkpoints.
I've seen a bunch of folks here today that I've never seen before, and they may be here looking for an opportunity.
In neighboring Arkansas, where an EF2 tornado hit, many people are coming together. In the town of Nashville, a Good Samaritan handed out $100 bills to storm victims.
It's good. I mean, I know it's not a whole bunch of money, a lot of money, but it helps. It's going to help my sister and her kids.
Even more severe weather threatens to hamper cleanup efforts later this week. Don Champion, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Let's get our traffic and weather together. Here's Katie.
And good morning, Yuki. And yet again, we're finding some very strong thunderstorms and heavy rain rolling across at this point near the Gulf shoreline in Texas. But at least as far as this latest round of severe weather, the bulk of it is now since subsided, and we've got at least a chance to recover down across that part of the country. But we are still tracking that same front. For us, though, we're not going to see the heavy rain and the flooding like what we saw back off to the west here. What we end up with is virtually nothing in the way of wet weather. We had a couple of showers early this morning across Carbon-Monroe County, but we've got plenty of moisture, just not rain. So we talk about dew point when we start to talk about the moisture content in the air. In other words, the lower the dew point is, the drier your air mass. The current dew point is actually at 64 degrees, and that's right on the cusp of where it starts to feel humid. And I can attest from being on the sky deck, it definitely feels that way. Tomorrow's dew point way lower, so it's going to start to feel so much more comfortable. But today is another steamy and summery day for you out there, even despite the calendar. So 88 degrees, the expected high here today. It's hot, it's steamy, it'll be breezier with time. It's not terribly breezy just yet, but give it some time. That'll also help get rid of any low-lying clouds that you might still have out there. And by tomorrow, drastic drop on the thermometer. We're just flirting with 70 degrees at that point, although we've got some pretty pleasant weather, especially Thursday, looking lovely right now. And then a warm front comes along with some rain as early as Friday night, but especially it looks like for Saturday.
So don't taste the spring tomorrow.
Finally.
Yeah, right.
We've had this nice long taste of summer, so we'll finally get back to the season we're actually in.
It all feels good. Thank you,
It
Katie.
does. It does. My man.
I'm looking forward to that. I have the AC cranking at my home right now. So
Do you?
Turn it
Turn it
down.
up?
Yeah.
I haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah,
Turn it down. Turn it down for
step.
what?
It is.
Well, no, it gets
No,
cooler.
I'm just playing.
You turn it off. Yeah, I need it cool
heavy.
when I sleep. That's how I am. I can't sleep in the humidity. All right, let's take you out to outside right now, and looking okay for the most part on area roadways. No problems on the Schuylkill Expressway at this point. Both directions really okay. Nothing stacked up just yet with volume, but I'm sure certainly that will change in the next few hours or so. That was right around Montgomery Avenue. We'll take you to the Burlington-Bristol Bridge. Very hard to see here. Again, we got that haze going on. Nice reflection off the water, though, with the sun up, and the bridge is expected to open at 6:15 this morning. We had the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge earlier at 5:45. That is now back down. All right, travel times. Really, the one problem is 95 South Woodhaven to the Vine. That's a 21-minute trip with the increased volume, but still looking good on the Blue Route from 76 to 95 southbound. That's a 17-minute ride, how it should be. And also 422 from Oaks to 202 looks good with clear conditions. Water main break upper Dublin, Fort Washington, Pinetown Road at Highland Avenue. Police continue to direct traffic. Let's look at your ride. Yuki, back over to you.
All right, Justin, thank you. Well, this morning we're learning more about the road rage incident involving George Zimmerman. Florida authorities say a man who called 911 to report he was involved in a shooting with Zimmerman appears to be the same person involved in a road rage incident with Zimmerman last year. Police in Lake Mary say Zimmerman was not the shooter. He was not seriously hurt either. Zimmerman was acquitted in the 2012 killing of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager.
Updating our breaking news right now, another deadly earthquake strikes Nepal. At least 4 people are confirmed dead. The earthquake was followed by several aftershocks. An earthquake last month killed more than 8,100 people.
Police have arrested a man in a robbery at Dunkin' Donuts. Authorities say the suspect broke a window over at 63rd Girard and stole the safe from inside. He was caught a short distance away.
And police are searching for suspects after a brick was thrown through a window of a school bus in West Philadelphia. A special needs student was injured when that brick hit her in the face. We'll be right back.
On the sports page, the Patriots will be without quarterback Tom Brady when they open defense of their Super Bowl championship. Brady was suspended for the first 4 games of next season for his role in Deflategate. The Patriots were also punished. But what do you think about the punishment? Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter. We'll have a live report on Deflategate coming up in our next half hour. Let's talk some baseball now. The Phillies and Pirates play again tonight at Citizens Bank Park. They'll be facing former Philly A.J. Burnett. Game 1 of the Pirates series last night, and Grady Sizemore's RBI scores Chase Utley, giving the Phils the early lead. Sizemore had a couple of runs batted in, but the Pirates' Starling Marte hit a 3-run shot in the 3rd inning, and the Phils would lose their 3rd straight. Your final score was 4-3. Well, the Phils pulled a surprise move yesterday. Third baseman Cody Asche is going down to AAA to learn how to play left field. He's hitting .235 this season with a couple of homers. The move could mean a promotion for AAA third baseman Michael Franco. Don Brown is still, by the way, down in Lehigh Valley as well. Well, Phil's ace Cole Hamels is giving back through his Hamels Foundation.
Schools in our area are benefiting from this year's grants. Cole was at West Philly High to announce the grant recipients. More than $53,000 is being donated this year to 8 Philadelphia area schools. That money will go for a new audio system, science kits, and a library. The Hamels Foundation is also raising money to establish a school in Malawi, Africa.
Nicely done. He and his wife do some great things. The whole foundation in the community.
They really do. And really, education. Can you think of a better way to invest in your community?
That's
I love
right.
that.
King
Fantastic.
Cole, do your thing, my man. Nicely done. Well, concert goers hoping to see Sheryl Crow take the stage in South Jersey get scammed. Coming up next, we're going to tell you about the ticket hoax that sent one woman to jail. Also, Howard Stern pays David Letterman one last visit on The Late Show. And, of course, he got a lot of laughs. See what he did that made Dave just a little uncomfortable on the set. That's when we come right back. Just wait.
Time right now is 6:23. We want to get our traffic and weather together on a hot Tuesday, Katie.
It's going to be a toasty one, off to a very mild and very muggy start. Man, this is a summer-like day if I ever saw it. We start off a little steamy. Some of you are still finding some low-lying cloud cover, but the worst of our fog worries are thankfully retreating here outside Middle Township High School and Cape May Courthouse. A little bit of a mixed bag. You've got some clouds, you've got some breaks in the sunlight, and you're going to see more and more sun as the day goes on. But you can see right on the tail end of this loop on storm scan, one little pocket of showers rolling in across the Kent and Newcastle County border there. So we're still allowing some of you to see a shower, but most of you are in fact dry and toasty today. 80 degrees at first pitch tonight for the Phils, but we're shooting for 88 for the official high today. Flirts with a record, Justin.
Yeah, it does. 91 is a record for the state set back in 1881, and not a bad night for baseball with the humid conditions. It feels like summer. All right, 95 Cobbin lined up pretty good heading south into the city. Just typical rush hour volume for this time of morning. Same deal 422. This is eastbound right around St. Gabe's Curve. Again, you can't see the sun. If we flip the camera, you could. So we will be battling some sun glare this morning. Watch out, 42 freeway southbound between 295 and Creek Road. Left lane is blocked. That's until 9 o'clock this morning. That is due to construction. And New Jersey travel times actually looking good on 42 northbound, 295 north, and 55 as well. That's a look at your ride. Send it back over to you, Erica.
All right, Justin, thank you. This is just into Eyewitness News. President Obama has announced the site for the Presidential Library. It's going to be on the south side of Chicago, where the president's political career began. The bid by the University of Chicago was selected over rival proposals by the University of Hawaii, Columbia University in New York, and the University of Illinois at Chicago. But it sounds like it has special meaning for him.
Oh, no question about it, yeah. Well, imagine buying tickets to see your favorite singer only to find out later you've been scammed. That's what police say happened in Burlington County, New Jersey. Police arrested 42-year-old Kelly Bryan over the weekend. They say she sold tickets to a Sheryl Crow show, which was to be held at the Flying W Airport in Medford. But there was one major problem. Crow was never booked to play. Eyewitness News spoke with a woman who said, yep, she was duped.
And how does that feel?
Feels like crap. I mean, you know, I would have been out like almost $300. This is a nice place, and this shouldn't have happened to the Flying W.
Police believe at least 200 people fell victim to Bryan. She is being held on a $100,000 bond. The Flying W says it had nothing to do with the promotion or sale of tickets. Well, David Letterman is counting down to his final show.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen when you have Howard Stern on The Late Show. David invited Howard for a chat, but the radio host had other ideas.
Come here and hug me. Come on. No! Kiss me. Kiss me. No. Kiss me. No. Kiss me now. No. Kiss me now. We'll be right back.
Howard gave Dave a quick little peck there on the side of the mouth instead. The radio host has appeared on the show more than 20 times.
He was like,
kiss
me.
Like, hot sure. Oh, no, hang on.
Kiss me now. That was good.
They always have such fun interactions.
Oh, they do. They really do.
Now, Dave only has 7 more shows left.
Oh,
7 more new shows. Tonight, President Bill Clinton and Adam Sandler will stop by. You can watch that right here on CBS 3 after Eyewitness News at 11.
The countdown continues. Well, coming up in our next half hour of Eyewitness News this morning, Tom Brady is responding to the NFL's punishment over Deflategate. Justin.
And Yuki, the clock is ticking on his plan to fight back. I'm Justin Finch with his game plan coming up.
Justin, thanks. Also, mid-size SUVs are growing in popularity, but not all of them are safe. We have the results of a new crash test. It's just in this morning.
And think cool, family. Get ready for a spring sizzler. Katie has your steamy forecast. Justin's checking the roads. We do traffic and weather together. And we're back in just 2 minutes. You're working out.
Little live yoga out on the parkway. I like it. Art Museum steps.
Yes, indeed. Stretching.
That's my kind of workout. We just stay still the entire time.
Good morning, everyone. More now on our breaking news. Another major earthquake hits Nepal. This video taken inside the parliament the moment the quake struck. You can see that entire room shaking and the camera shaking, prompting lawmakers to scramble to safety. The 7.4 magnitude quake struck this morning near the Chinese border, killing at least 4 people, we're told. This morning's earthquake was closely followed by 2 aftershocks as well, measuring magnitude 5.6 and 6.3. More updates throughout the morning. Erica?
Also this morning, a hazy look down the shore in Ocean City. Can't see anything really. We are expecting the hottest temperatures so far this year, and it is only May. However, pretend like it's July. Pretend you're waking up, you're going to go to a barbecue for the 4th of July, because that's what's going to feel like today, right, Katie?
That's essentially the story, yes. A very summer-like forecast for us today, but it is just one day, and then we are dropped back to reality, essentially, in the days ahead here. So, yeah, you got some summer, you got some spring in this forecast, and not a heck of a lot of wet weather. You know, I feel like people are actually starting to hope for rain at this point, though.
Right, the pollen suffers,
all the
allergies.
Yeah, the allergies
so
are really getting to a lot of people. That, and also, you know, we could use the rain at this point. You know, it's been about 20 days since we've had any kind of real measurable rain. But that said, one little isolated pocket that you see of some showers rolling right now through just over the border of Newcastle and Kent County. And that's really just about the most we can hope for here today in terms of any additional wet weather. If you've got outdoor plans, though, this is probably excellent news to you. But you can see there are some clouds. And we just showed you that shore shot. It's very hazy and still seeing intermittent bouts of fog coming in here. So the sky conditions, depending on your location, are kind of a mixed bag. You've got some fog, you've got a partly sunny sky, or you've got full sunshine. I mean, it really is a mix out there depending on location. And with more movement in the atmosphere today, more of a west to southwest wind flow starting to pick up. That's going to help scour out a lot of these low clouds, but you are going to find them sort of, you know, off and on throughout the course of the day. So partly sunny is what we're going to call it. And again, a spotty shower for some of you before the day's all said and done. But these temperatures tell the story, boy. 88 degrees, the expected high in Philadelphia. Not a record. It's coming close, though. And it's also the hottest day that we're forecasting so far this year. Justin, over to you.
All right, 91 is the record high temperature for today, and maybe you opened up your pool. A good pool day this afternoon with those temperatures. Not a good day on 95 south, but it's so typical. You're used to this. This is typical rush hour volume. We're looking at between Academy and Cottman on south. Again, that's slow, coming down to about 14 miles per hour in some spots through northeast Philadelphia on 95. We'll take you to the Blue Route right around Ridge, and looking good, okay in both directions. You can see some sun starting to shine. So yes, you're going to be battling some sun glare this morning. There are the speeds, 15 miles per hour through sections of northeast Philadelphia on 95. Now it's slowing down right around City Avenue on the Schuylkill westbound, and it stays slow about 37 miles per hour. But right now, Blue Route looking good from 95 all the way up to Route 155 miles per hour. Also, the Jersey Turnpike and 295 is okay. Port Richmond, again, Richmond Street stays closed between Lehigh and Cambria. That goes until June 1st, except the bus, or the 15 bus, is going to be shuttle busing today because of that closure. And then 42 freeway southbound construction from 295 to Creek Road. That stays blocked, the left lane, until 9. Back over to you guys.
All right, thank you. Now, this next story is generating a lot of reaction from football fans. Quarterback Tom Brady suspended without pay over that so-called Deflategate scandal.
His team, the New England Patriots, was also punished. Eyewitness News reporter Justin Finch is in our satellite center to tell you more about this. Justin.
Erica, Yuki, good morning. It goes like this. Tom Brady suspended without pay for 4 games. His team now staring down $1 million fine, and the punishment does not stop there. Deflategate set to cost the team 2 draft picks as well. With Tom Brady set to miss 1/4 of the upcoming regular season, fans fear the New England Patriots will raise their championship banner without their Super Bowl MVP.
You can't unveil the banner without Brady being there. You can't do it.
I don't want to see a banner without Brady.
On Twitter, Pats fans ripped the NFL, attaching the hashtag No Brady, No Banner. Others bought Brady jerseys, saying they still think Tom is tops.
No, of course. No, he's the greatest of all time. Are you kidding me?
As for what fans think of that 4-game suspension.
Not that. That's a lot.
I think it's too much. It's wrong.
I think it's a little bit excessive.
I think it's excessive, and I don't think he really knew about it.
The NFL Commission Wells report found Brady was likely at least generally aware of the inappropriate activities of locker room attendant and self-proclaimed deflator Jim McNally and equipment assistant John Jastrzemski. Both are now suspended without pay indefinitely, effective May 6th. Brady's 4-game sit-out will be without pay, too. The team itself faces a $1 million fine and the loss of its first-round draft pick next year and a fourth-round pick in 2017. The Patriots called the sanctions unreasonable. In a statement, Brady's agent called his suspension ridiculous, saying there's no evidence Brady directed staff to deflate footballs before the AFC Championship game. He says he and Brady plan to appeal. And Brady has 3 days to get that appeal, and he can still take part in off-season workouts. Now, a 4-game sit-out means he's not back on the field until mid-October. Live in the SAT Center, I'm Justin Finch, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
The commissioner had to do something, and he did it. He did it right away. Right away. Okay, Justin, thanks so much.
Right now it is 6:36, and as we enter college graduation season, a new study finds the class of 2015 holds a dubious distinction. One they're probably not too happy with. The graduates are the most indebted ever.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has the numbers and advice for creating a game plan to repay the big bill. She's up in New York for us. Hi, Jill. Good morning.
A lot of money. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what's the damage?
Well, if we look at the average student with a loan, he or she owes just over $35,000. That's according to advisors. Now, when you adjust for inflation, it's more than double the amount borrowers had 2 decades ago. So when people say, I don't remember borrowing this much, that's why. Wow. Almost 71% of graduates have loans. That's compared with less than half 2 decades ago and about 64% 10 years ago.
Now, that's just the students that have debt. Parents are also borrowing, right?
Yes, and this is new because we didn't see parents borrowing a couple decades ago. About 17% of graduates have parents with loans out on their behalf. Average debt up to nearly $31,000 this year. If you put the student and the parent education debt together, both federal and private education loans, we've seen them increase by more than 10-fold since 1994.
And Jill, I'm thinking more students are borrowing because the degree is essential. Maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. The unemployment rate for those with a high school degree is 5.4%. That matches the overall unemployment rate. But when you look at those with a college degree, it's half, 2.7%. Data also show workers with a bachelor's degree have median lifetime earnings that are 77% higher than someone who only graduates high school. That's about $800 to $1 million over a lifetime. That said, okay, pay attention. You need to take control of that debt first. List the loan amounts, the rates, and the schedules of repayment. Then you create your repayment strategy. You comb through your budget. You find the money to pay. Depending on the graduate circumstances, you may want to consider deferment, consolidation, and/or income-based repayment plans. They're all offered through the government. Great information at studentaid.ed.gov.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good insight.
It can take so long to pay that back, too.
Really
All right. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, Jill.
Take care.
Well, Olive Garden has a new plan for its famous breadsticks, but unfortunately, it's not all you can eat.
This is still pretty fantastic, though. The restaurant chain says it plans to use its breadsticks for sandwiches, like there on your screen, that meatball sub. They'll be used for that meatball sub and chicken parm sandwiches starting next month. The breadstick sandwiches are just the latest attempt to revamp Olive Garden's menu and marketing after sales have declined the last couple of years. These new sandwiches, though, there is a caveat. They will only be available for the lunch menu. But how terrific does that look right now?
I'm just looking at that right now. That looks so good.
And those breadsticks with the buttery flavor on top and the soft middle.
You need to stop right now.
Want to go halvesies?
Halfsies? All right, we can do it. It's almost lunchtime once again for us in about an hour. Lunchtime? Lunchtime, 8 a.m. Still ahead on Eyewitness News this morning, something not so appetizing. How do insects sound for dinner tonight? We'll tell you why eating bugs could be the future of nutrition in America.
They're some of the most popular vehicles on the road, but will they keep you safe? I'm Chris Martinez in Los Angeles. I'll have that story coming up.
Also, surveillance cameras catch a would-be thief in the act here, and it is a seal. I hear he kind of tried to conceal the evidence.
Katie, don't do that. Stop.
I'm sorry,
You'll get her going. Stop. Katie, stop.
See what this guy was trying to steal from the market coming up. I like it.
Good It's hot in the city, hot in the suburbs, going to be hot in the entire tri-state area. Think cool, family. Katie's got your forecast. She's looking at the numbers. JD's looking at your traffic. Glad you're with us. See you in a bit.
.43 right now. I want to check in with Katie and our weather watchers. Good morning.
And good morning, Erica, and good morning, everyone. The weather watchers are certainly reporting some mild air to kickstart the morning. It feels like summer outside. We've got a lot of mid and even upper 60s already to report for you out there. 64 was sent in to us from Gwen. She's one of our newbies to the program. She's out in Southampton where she's got a mix generally of some clouds and sun. But looking ahead here to another hot and sticky day, she really wishes her pool was open. I know a lot of people worked on getting that ready just within the last week, and understandably, I mean, the weather that we've had has been so much more like summer than anything. It's been a great excuse to take a dip, right? Christopher D'Ambrosio, another new guy to the program here. He's out in St. David's here, one of our mainliners. He's got still some clouds, but it does appear as though eventually we're going to end up with some sun. He's still waiting on it there, but everybody gets in on that at some point. Meanwhile, we head out to Storm Scan 3 and show you why the cloud cover is still out there, and it's still because we've got some activity to track in our atmosphere, and it looks like a very busy pattern, but it's not going to really produce all that much in terms of wet weather anyway for our area. But we do still have what's left of Anna still skirting away from the coastline, and here's your storm system. You can sort of trace back that sort of calm a shape to it. So this cold front still needs to cross through. Bulk of energy is off to the north. Even though we could still see a shower around, it's really not going to produce all that much in the way of wet weather. And this has been a very dry stretch of days for us. We're starting to hear people say, when's it going to rain? Which you wouldn't hear over the last couple months or so. But it has been 20 days since we've had at least 0.1 inches of rain or more. So it has been a very dry pattern. Nothing that we have to worry about with drought status at this point, but it is abnormally dry through our north and west suburbs, especially at this point. Looking forward in our forecast, it's going to be a hot one. 88 degrees, that's more like late July. That's more like the height of summer. But as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, much cooler and more comfortable by comparison. And then we rebound in time for the weekend. But it looks like some wet weather is finally on the way by Saturday. Justin?
The only good thing about the dry weather is you don't have to cut the grass a whole lot. I don't like doing that. I know a lot of people feel the pain there. You can enjoy the nice weather without the cutting the grass. All right, we'll take you to the Ben Franklin Bridge. Outbound into New Jersey looks good. Inbound traffic starting to increase a little bit with the volume, but speed still looking okay. Taking you to the Vine Street Expressway. This is the westbound side. Again, even eastbound looking good. Volume is pretty low at this point. Newcastle County, Delaware. We'll check out your area speeds. A lot of green showing up indicating smooth sailing this morning, so no problems on 95 around Wilmington, 495 Delaware Memorial Bridge. Both Route 1 and 95 around Christiana are in good shape with speeds right at the speed limit. And Penn move out day today and tomorrow. It's good news for them. Spruce Street will be closed though between 34th and 4th. That's from 6:30 this morning all the way till 8 in the evening. That's a look at your ride. Back over to you, Erica.
All right, thanks, Justin. Updating our breaking news right now. Another deadly earthquake in Nepal. At least 4 people are confirmed dead in this morning's earthquake. It centered near the Chinese border. An earthquake less than 3 weeks ago claimed more than 8,100 lives.
A suspect is in custody after a robbery at a Dunkin' Donuts up at 63rd and Girard. Police caught the suspect just a few blocks away. They say he broke a drive-through window and tried to get away with a safe from inside.
And a special needs student was hit by a brick yesterday that was thrown through the window of her school bus. She was treated at a hospital, and police are now searching for suspects.
Well, mid-size SUVs are among the country's most popular vehicles, but a new crash test study from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety shows some are definitely safer than others. CBS News correspondent Chris Martinez has the results just released this morning.
The Nissan Murano earned a good rating from the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. The Murano protected the driver the best out of the 7 SUVs tested in its latest round of crash simulations.
The airbags did what they're supposed to do to keep the head out of harm's way.
The Ford Flex and the Jeep Wrangler 4-door also received high marks for safety.
The automakers are making changes to provide better protection in these kinds of crashes.
The Institute tested what happens when a vehicle's front corner collides with another car or object. Analysts say it simulates the most common type of crash.
When you look around at junkyards to vehicles that have been in crashes, you rarely see the kind of damage that occurs from a flat wall.
But not every vehicle held up well. The Dodge Durango, Jeep Cherokee, and Hyundai Santa Fe got marginal ratings, with the Dodge Journey performing the worst in the group.
Occupant compartment collapsed around the driver. We measured high forces on the left leg especially.
The Institute says many automakers have made safety improvements, particularly to airbags and the front structure of their vehicles. In Los Angeles, Chris Martinez for CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
6:48 is your time. Beetles and spiders at the dinner table.
2 billion people around the world eat bugs regularly, and now Americans are starting to warm up to the idea. Insects are rich in protein, minerals, and vitamins, just like meat. Bug lovers like insect blogger Scott Trimble compares this trend to sushi, which Americans were also uneasy about eating at first.
I think a lot of people don't realize that insects are very closely related to crustaceans. A lot of insects taste like shrimp. A lot of other insects taste like lobster or crab.
Well, okay, you had me there. Insects require less land, food, and water than livestock, and that gives bugs a real shot at becoming an American staple. The United Nations also advocates eating insects as a food source. They add that the world population is expected to grow to 8 billion by 2050, and food production will have to double to meet demand. And it simply takes more land, more time, more grain to grow chicken and cows, but insects.
I'm good with the lobster meat and the crab meat,
Well,
that's it. I'm not.
You'll settle for lobster and crab if you must.
You're putting that toward your mouth and those eyes are looking at you.
Well, you deep fat fry it. Deep fat fry anything.
That's not happening.
Nice and
enjoy. not happening.
All right, 6:49 right now. Let's see what's coming up on CBS this morning.
And Gail King joins us now from New York. She's grinning too. Hey, Gail. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just caught the last part of that ukulele. I don't want to eat anything that has eyes.
Thank you.
At me while I'm eating it.
Thank you.
It's just me.
All right.
And
Good morning
me.
to you. Good morning to you, Erica. Good to
morning.
see you. Did the NFL's punishment for Tom Brady go too far? We'll talk with Sports Illustrated's Peter King and sportscaster Jim Gray about the league's message. Plus, millions of people every year say that their furniture gets held hostage by moving companies, and that is the word they're using, hostage. The new effort to stop the widespread practice. And there are more reasons to drink up when it comes to your morning cup of coffee. Dr. Holly Phillips is in Studio 57 with the newest findings on some significant health benefits there. The news is back in the morning. We'll see you in about 10 minutes from now and counting. Back to you guys in the studio.
Cup of coffee and a side of crickets. Come on.
It could be the new American breakfast.
No thanks.
Just give it
No
50 years.
Thanks, Gail.
Thank
Talk to you
guys.
later. All right, take care. Well, most of the time, surveillance cameras are catching lawbreakers.
Right now, though, we have an Oregon icon caught on camera. And the icon in question is that little seal you see popping out of the water right there, videotaped hopping out of the water and making his way into the fish market. One expert said he thinks the seal saw people going into the shop and then coming out with fish and thought, that seems pretty fantastic. Let me give that a try.
We had a lot of volcanoes and full moons, all kinds of weird stuff happening in the ocean, so we noticed that everything was being a little strange.
Okay, now we understand the seal did grab some merchandise, some fell on the floor, but when he realized it was fruit, he just dropped it, left it behind, went right back in the water.
5, 4, 3. I'm waiting for one. You got to have one. Come on, 2.
No, I already did my little conceal the evidence.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't want to ruin it with something cheap like, seal of approval.
Yeah, right.
Just,
I thought,
we're
right.
better than that, you
Right,
think.
yeah.
We're
We've
better
been
than
there, done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But apparently he's a regular. He's been doing this for years.
Has
He'll
he
hop
really?
out of the water and
That was a great
try to get
picture.
a fish.
Great
So
shot.
cute. Well, allergy season is unbearable this year. You know if you suffer from allergies. Coming up next, the simple things you can do right now to breathe easier.
But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight during evening primetime viewing right here on the station you're watching. So glad you're with us. CBS 3. Well, if you suffer from spring allergies, you know this has been an especially bad season.
People are flooding emergency rooms, prompting the Philadelphia Health Department to issue an advisory. Early May has brought what some are calling a pollen tsunami. Tree and grass pollen are extremely high at the same time, and that's unusual. Experts blame our nasty winter that dragged through March for this. Some doctors say this is one of the worst spring allergy seasons they've ever seen.
People find it harder to breathe because they have all this mucus clogging their airways, and then they develop edema or swelling in the airways, just like you develop edema or swelling in your nose and inflammation in your airways as well.
Now, you of course can take medication to alleviate the symptoms. Also, here's an idea. You can try to keep pollen out of your house by taking off your clothes and shoes when you get home, and then hopping in the shower to make sure you get all that pollen off of you.
A lot of people who suffer, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Really suffer.
A lot of tissue going around the station right now. Boxes and boxes of Kleenex.
Yeah, that's a hot commodity.
And today, no relief, Katie, with no rain.
Definitely not. Yeah, I mean, we might see a quick shower out there. And actually, there is one little shower rolling over across the Kent and Newcastle County border right now. So you might see a damp road around that.